The story begins with a bloody struggle. In a world overrun by demons, a young man named Chinchanon holds a deadly secret. Under the serene moonlight, he faces his darkest hour. Meanwhile, amidst the ruins, a seductive predator catches a scent intoxicating and rare. She licks her lips greedily. It is the aroma of the eternal body she has craved for so long. Desire instantly overrides reason. She transforms into a streak of light, rushing frantically through the stormy night toward the dilapidated immortal temple. She cannot wait to devour her prey. Inside the temple, Chinchanon is oblivious. In a world obsessed with cultivation, the starving boy only dreams of roast duck. This transmigration is nothing but torture for him. He once joined the longevity sect with high hopes, only to find his eternal body had blocked meridians. It wasn't a gift, but a death sentence that attracted monsters and doomed his sect. To save him, his master hid him here. For 3 years, he has lived like a lamb waiting for slaughter. Chinchanon roars at the sky, his heart filled with rage and despair against this unfair fate. But the heavens don't care. A thunderbolt strikes, and the defiant Chinchanon instantly cowers. In this cruel world, the weak have no right to be angry. Better to just go to sleep. Suddenly, eerie blue feathers drift down. A beautiful woman appears out of thin air, approaching him with seductive whispers. But beneath the flirtatious atmosphere lies a deadly intent. She lunges for a kiss not out of love, but the greed of tasting food. Chinchanon realizes the danger and desperately shoves this terrifying romance away. It's useless. The woman displays overwhelming strength, easily pinning him down. The playfulness in her eyes turns to impatience. She is done toying with her prey. Are you human or ghost? Chinchanon screams, trembling. Lightning flashes, illuminating the woman's pupils as they turn a gruesome crimson. The answer is terrifyingly clear. A ghost! His master's protection spell failed. Chinchanon is scared out of his wits. Is he destined to die at the hands of a female ghost, just like a scholar in a tragic folklore? Before he can react, the ghost reveals her true form and pierces his neck. Blood sprays. As consciousness fades, he wonders, after 3 years of running, is this finally the end? At the moment of death, a cold mechanical voice explodes in his mind. Host encountering ghost detected. Invincible domain system activated. In the depths of despair, hope awakens. Instantly, an absolute blue domain expands around Chinchanon. The ghost's lethal strike hits an invisible wall. She watches in horror as the mortal becomes untouchable. Wiping blood from his lip, Chinchanon grins savagely. Now, it's my turn. The ghost, arrogant and blind to her impending doom, continues to mock the seemingly weak human. If you want death, you shall have it. As the ghost lunges again, Chinchanon doesn't dodge. Within his domain, a simple kick detonates the very air with terrifying power. Boom! A golden pillar of light pierces the heavens. Amidst the deafening roar, the ghost is obliterated instantly, silenced forever by the earth-shattering force. Dust settles. Chinchanon stands amidst the ruins, unharmed. It's not a dream, he won. 3 years of humiliation and running end now. His era of invincibility has arrived. The system chimes. Domain points earned. Chinchanon's eyes light up. If he expands the domain to the whole continent, wealth and harems await. But wait, why doesn't this crappy system have a manual? The system arrogantly refuses to guide him. Before Chinchanon can protest, the light vanishes, sending him plummeting into the abyss. Amidst a deafening roar, the temple ruins reassemble under mysterious blue energy. The power known as the invincible domain awakens. Meanwhile, the sky tears apart. A golden immortal sword descends with apocalyptic power, causing monsters across the land to shriek in terror. At this moment, the gears of fate begin to turn, and a new chapter is about to unfold in this chaotic land. Chapter 2. In the Xuanwu Upper Realm, majestic palaces float above the clouds. A battle for the immortal sword is already brewing. A golden fist shatters the earth, leveling ancient buildings instantly. The smoke of battle permeates the air. The tower collapses under the sword's light. Furious roars echo through the sky. The immortal sword, symbol of supreme power, is lost. The white-haired immortal roars in fury, issuing a decree to the void. 12 immortal generals descend immediately and retrieve the holy sword. Streaks of light tear through the night sky like meteors, crashing down to the mortal world with overwhelming pressure. The hunt begins. Vengeful fire burns in his golden eyes. A cold order echoes under the stars. Retrieve that sword at all costs. Anyone who dares touch it, kill them without mercy. The brutal command falls, heralding a bloodbath for the mortal world. Back at the ruined temple, a newly awakened Shinchanen is starving. His modern dignity refuses to let him eat dirt to survive. He sighs helplessly, realizing he is a mortal with no cultivation. Leaving this temple means certain death. Unless a bold thought strikes him. Chen's eyes gleam. If the invincible domain moves with him, he is truly a god. He steps out with confidence only to jump back frantically the next second. The domain didn't move, and the freezing wind nearly turned him into a popsicle. Trapped, hungry, and cold. Suddenly, a piercing explosion shatters the silence. Danger is approaching fast. A pink-haired girl crashes in front of the temple, pursued by a murderous villain. But Shinchanen only cares about one thing. They must have food. The girl warns the villain this is a master's territory. In the shadows, the starving master stares intensely at these two food delivery candidates. Chen speaks coldly, making noise on my turf. Compensate me with food. His audacity thoroughly enrages the arrogant Li Xiao. Die! Li Xiao roars, unleashing a terrifying skeletal energy. The lethal attack screams towards them, aiming to incinerate them instantly. Facing the earth-shattering strike, Shinchanen stands his ground as blue energy erupts. The attack vanishes into thin air. Ling Baoer and Li Batian stare in wide-eyed disbelief, unable to comprehend this miraculous scene. Certain of Shinchanen's demise, the enemy grins savagely. Yet, Shin simply smiles calmly, blue light swirling around him, and beckons provocatively. I'm standing right here. If you can kill me, I'll kneel and sing for you. Thoroughly enraged, Li Batian holds nothing back. Violent red spiritual energy skyrockets as a massive purple blade forms above him. Roaring, he unleashes a devastating strike, vowing to crush this arrogant mortal into dust. The moment the blade descends, Shinchanen kneels, and a golden domain instantly expands. His gaze turns divine and cold as he whispers, "Once you enter my invincible domain, your life and death are mine to control." With a crisp ding, the magical blade, capable of slicing iron, is effortlessly caught between Shinchanen's two fingers. Watching his enemy's eyes bulge in stupidity, he mocks contemptuously. Caught it just like that. Giving no time to react, Shinchanen exerts force and flicks his finger. Reflect well in your next life. With these cold words, the arrogant Libatian's head instantly explodes, blood spraying across the scene. The battle ends abruptly, but the system notification is delightful. Looking at the 500 domain points received, Shinchanen strokes his chin thoughtfully. So, besides killing ghosts, killing cultivators also drops loot? In that case, the strong are just walking XP packs. Shinchanen hesitates no more and commands decisively, use all points, expand the domain. Golden light surges, instantly extending the originally narrow invincible domain by 5 meters. Just as he is about to celebrate the double victory, Shinchanen's smile freezes while looking at the Lude storage ring. Damn it! He is just a mortal with no spiritual power. He can't open this cultivator safe at all. Meanwhile, Ling Baoer falls into sorrow beside him. They came only to investigate the anomaly, but unexpected ambushes wiped out all her fellow disciples of the Nine-Sword sect, leaving her the sole survivor in the wind and snow. Wiping away tears, the girl looks at Shinchanen with adoration. To instantly kill a golden core cultivator, this senior must be a legendary nascent soul expert. Facing her gratitude, Shinchanen stands with hands behind his back, maintaining the facade of a hidden master. Senior, the owner is dead, So the seal has dissipated? Hearing Ling Bao's words, Qin Chanin's eyes light up instantly. Dropping his wise master act, he asks eagerly, "Is there food inside? Get it out, quick!" Finally eating the roast chicken he craved, Qin Chanin is fantasizing about taking wives within his domain when Ling Bao suddenly kneels. "Senior, please accept me as your disciple." Qin Chanin, chicken bone in mouth, looks completely bewildered. With the beginning of this wonderful fate, a new chapter is about to unfold. Behind the scenes, a group of people is silently working hard for this exciting story. To cling to this golden thigh, Ling Bao shamelessly follows him, swearing to serve him like a slave to repay the debt. Qin Chanin, clutching a hem, just feels like a huge trouble is trailing him. Qin Chanin has a headache. Apart from the invincible domain, he knows nothing. Wouldn't taking a disciple be leading her astray? But on second thought, he dares not leave the domain for food. Having an errand runner doesn't sound too bad. To hide his guilty conscience, Qin Chanin puts on the cold, arrogant air of a peerless master. He first belittles Ling Bao as worthless, then suddenly changes his tone. "Since fate brought us together, I will reluctantly accept you as a registered disciple." The innocent Ling Bao feels like she struck gold, bowing excitedly with eyes burning with a desire to get stronger. With this bow, the sweet sound of the system notification rings and Qin Chanin's ears ding. Taking a disciple actually awards points? Just as Qin Chanin is grinning from ear to ear, his obedient disciple pinches her nose and asks an awkward question. "Master, how long has it been since you bathed?" The air instantly freezes. To avoid being fumigated, Ling Bao obediently goes outside to collect rainwater for a bath. Suddenly, a red light streaks across the night sky, and a heavy object screams down, smashing the water tub right in front of her. What is that? Eerie purple clouds roil as menacing green eyes glow in the dark. Qin Chanin descends from the sky warning of danger, while Ling Bao sprints through the rain screaming, "Master, a golden core tiger demon is here." Qin Chanin's eyes flash gold as he excitedly shouts about hunting, leaving Ling Bao helpless. Meanwhile, the golden core tiger demon cowers in the corner, trembling in terror at the man who just insta-killed a ghost. No bait, no catch. Qin Chanin uses the irresistible scent of his eternal body as a lure. Sure enough, the tiger demon, entranced by the lethal fragrance, drools uncontrollably as its reason crumbles. So fragrant. I can't take it. The tiger demon loses control and dives with thunderous force. Yet Qin Chanin calmly analyzes his domain mechanics, causing a frantic Ling Bao to scream, "Master, don't just stand there, move." The tiger demon's ferocious attack hits the invincible domain and freezes instantly. Qin Chanin looks at the confused kitty and sneers, "Want to eat me? Then contribute your body instead." Ling Bao watches in stunned disbelief. "Disciple, go slaughter this kitten." At Qin Chanin's command, Ling Bao's eyes sharpen. Purple sword energy erupts around her as she yells, "Yes." Following master is the right choice. Ling Bao swings her blade, the energy blasting through the tiger demon's defense. Before the demon can beg for mercy, Qin Chanin coldly reaches out, "Give me the sword." He must land the killing blow to claim the XP. A blue sword flash tears through the night sky, an instant kill. The system chimes. Killed golden core level 8 tiger demon, gained 800 field value. Ling Bao gasps, utterly awestruck by her master's invincible form. Isn't this exciting? Qin Chanin smirks triumphantly as Ling Bao gazes at him with adoration. Suddenly, a system notification chimes. Field value full. System upgrade initiating. Casually ordering his disciple to butcher the tiger demon like a pig, Qin Chanin turns his attention to the system interface. Consuming 800 field value, Invincible Domain version 2.0 is about to unlock a new function, all living things. Master, don't lose the tiger whip, it's good stuff. Ling Bao's reminder makes Qin Chanin blush. He quickly shifts focus, waving his hand. All right, upgrade the system first. As the progress bar fills, light explodes. The all living things function is unlocked. Reading the skill description, Chin Chanon is so thrilled, he curses aloud. Holy crap, this skill is overpowered. Enlighten all things, grant wisdom. Impatient to verify this, Chin Chanon immediately orders Ling Bao, disciple, pull out 2 weeds for me. I need to test this god-tier skill. Blue light infuses the weed, and it instantly bursts with spiritual energy. Ling Bao stumbles back in terror, crying out, Master, how did this weed suddenly become a spirit herb? That's terrifying. What's the fuss? Be quiet. Chin Chanon pushes away his noisy disciple with a scowl. Cradling the glowing seedling in his hands, he holds his breath. A miracle is brewing in his palm. With a soft poof, the light fades, and a little sprite with fluttering wings appears out of thin air. Ling Bao is stunned. It transformed. Chin Chanon gazes gently at the new life, signaling his disciple to hush. Chin Chanon uses cohesion again, granting a drop of golden spiritual liquid to Ling Bao. Turning to the floating sprite, he declares, from now on, your name is Xiao Ban. In this moment, both disciple and sprite bask in their master's grace. The liquid melts in her mouth, and Ling Bao feels a boom inside her body. She broke through instantly. Chin Chanon glances at the system reward notification, a smile playing on his lips. Foundation building level 7 already? Looks like I've found a way to farm field value. Purple spiritual flames rise in the courtyard as Ling Bao meditates to stabilize her realm. Watching his disciple grow stronger and provide a steady stream of field value, Chin Chanon is certain taking disciples was the right move. More disciples mean easy wins. Just as Chin Chanon happily plans his future, he remembers the system has a second ability. With a mere thought, a terrifying pillar of light pierces through the hall. Holy crap! I messed up. Bao gasps, realizing the glowing ancient sword in her hands is the legendary immortal treasure. Her voice trembles with excitement in the night, while Chanon raises an eyebrow, feigning shock to play along. Too weak, Chanon mutters, golden light erupting from his palm. The broken blade transforms into a magnificent divine weapon, awakening its spirit, yet to him, it remains nothing more than scrap metal. He tosses the scrap to his disciple like trash. The moment Bao catches it, terrifying flames engulf the courtyard. Watching the trembling girl, Chanon adjusts his collar, hiding his overwhelming power. Tears of gratitude fill Bao's eyes, but her jaw drops the next second. With a casual wave, Chanon restores the broken roof instantly, performing a miracle as if it were a mundane chore. Peace returns to the night, Chanon musing that this suits a master. But as he gazes at the sleeping creature in his arms, a burst of icy power spirals out of control, cracking the just repaired courtyard. Suddenly, Libatian of the evil dragon cavern descends with fury, his roar shattering the air. Bao covers her mouth in terror, while Chanon calmly realizes the key detail Li Xiao is missing. What a treasure land! Before Libation's greed can settle, a ghostly aura descends. Xiao Qiantu of the Ghost Bone sect stands atop the cliff, sparking an explosive confrontation between the two factions. From the roof, Chanon watches coldly. The struggle below intensifies instantly. Xiao Qiantu eyes the transforming spirit grass, while Libatian, consumed by rage, erupts with power and launches the first strike. Lightning and brute strength clash violently in the sky, neither side yielding. Just as the battle reaches a stalemate, a lazy voice suddenly cuts through, interrupting the life and death duel. Holding his disciple, Chanon's gaze beneath the blindfold is bone-chilling. Lightning flickers around him as he speaks slowly, his tone dripping with annoyance at the demolition crew, destroying his roof. This treasure land is mine! Libatian laughs maniacally, unaware of his doom, unleashing purple energy. Chanon stands on the edge of the ruins, a mocking smile playing on his lips. The Ghost Bone sect joins the fray, evil flames sweeping across the field. Bao trembles in fear, but Chanon calculates silently. Why haven't these EXP pinatas entered my invincible domain yet? My master killed the golden core Li Xiao. Bao tries to intimidate them. To her horror, Chanon casually admits it, provoking roars of laughter from Li Batian and deepening her despair. To these cultivators, a mortal's disguise is a joke. Li Batian grins hideously, brandishing his blood-stained artifact. The cruel truth in his words causes Bauer's pupils to shrink in horror. Killing intent fills the sky. These people are mad for the treasure. Seeing everyone enter his range, Chamon's smile widens. Bauer, thinking her master is in danger, rushes forward desperately. The truth explodes amidst the roaring. It was Li Xiao who slaughtered the 9-sword sect last night on Li Batian's orders. Faced with the accusation, Li Batian drops the mask and laughs chillingly. If only I had the power! Tears swirl in Bauer's eyes. She wants to tear her enemy apart, but is helpless due to her low rank. Every insult from Li Batian cuts into her heart like a knife. The farce ends now. Cha-On clenches his fist, activating the invincible domain. The arrogant enemies watch in horror as their cultivation drains away. Like a receding tide, their lives are no longer their own. With a deafening boom, the so-called powerful are beaten back to their original forms, falling to the lowest chi refining realm. As Cha-On counts the realms on his fingers, Bauer points at the trembling enemies in disbelief. Playing the pig to eat the tiger! Li Batian roars in humiliation from the ground. They never dreamed they would fall to a seemingly cultivation-less mortal. Fear finally overrides their rage. From playful banter to the heat of battle, Ling Bauer charges with vengeance in her eyes, her blade hungry for the arrogant Li Batian's blood. Facing his arrogance, Ling Bauer summons a colossal spirit bull avatar. The sheer pressure of the treasure instantly crushes Li Batian's confidence. Golden light erupts. With a fierce war cry, a devastating shockwave swallows the battlefield. Li Batian stares in horror as death descends upon him. As rain washes the battlefield, Bauer trembles, overwhelmed. But in the shadows, greedy eyes watch, plotting to seize the immortal sword from her shaking hands. Just as he prepares to strike, the memory of the silver-haired man paralyzes him with fear. Greed gives way to survival instinct, and he retreats into the shadows. No mercy. Ling Bauer hunts down the fleeing enemies, her blade reaping lives. Meanwhile, Qin Chang'an smiles, enjoying the sweet sound of system rewards rolling in. Basking in his expanded domain, the master and apprentice discuss the prisoner's fate. With an innocent smile, Bauer suggests a chilling solution. Shall we chop them all up? The once arrogant elder now grovels in the dirt, spitting blood and lies. He shamelessly claims to be righteous, forcing his subordinates to kneel in a pathetic display. Watching the enemy's kowtow, Qin Chang'an feigns guilt with a theatrical sigh. His words are apologetic, but his eyes dance with cold, mocking amusement. The mask drops. Qin Chang'an's gaze turns icy as he exposes their lies. Desperate and cornered, the elder screams for an all-out attack, revealing his true, vicious nature. Total annihilation. Qin effortlessly crushes the mob, though the elder's soul escapes. Bauer panics, but Chun remains calm. The escaped prey is just bait for a bigger catch. At the Ghost Bone sect, leader Chiu rages, vowing revenge. Suddenly, a terrified scream pierces the night. The legendary ancestor has actually descended. Purple light pierces the sky. Witnessing the terrifying figure manifest on the altar, Chiu's joy turns to sheer terror. He drops to his knees, trembling in absolute submission. Suffocating pressure descends. It's the aura of a true immortal. The disciples tremble uncontrollably, feeling their very souls being crushed by his overwhelming power. Find the holy sword, or perish. The ancestor's command is a death sentence. In a moment of desperation, Chiu screams out the only clue that might save their worthless lives. Under the thunderous gaze, Chiu reveals a cunning smile and whispers the location, the immortal temple. The trap is set, and the chaos is redirected. Back at the temple, dinner is served. But behind the calm facade, Chun worries. His domain controls life and death, but is it enough to protect his gluttonous disciple? A spark of genius. If his domain can evolve plants into spirit herbs, why not evolve a person? Chun stares at Bauer, a wild, experimental idea igniting in his eyes. Action time. Chin grabs his terrified disciple, hand glowing with golden power. With a weird smile and a warning that it might hurt, he prepares to force evolve her. Chin Chang'an encourages her with a mischievous smile. Ling Bao, blushing furiously, struggles internally. The cultivation feels too fast and intimate, leaving her stammering in shy confusion. Horrified that her first time is happening like this, Ling Bao screams in embarrassment, startling Chin Chang'an. Yet, under his serious coaxing, she covers her burning face and reluctantly accepts her fate. Steeling herself, Ling Bao shouts she's ready. But when Chin Chang'an grimly warns of life-threatening danger, her adrenaline crashes. Her eyes widen in terror. Could this dual cultivation actually kill her? As Chin Chang'an's hand descends, a torrent of blue spiritual energy engulfs Ling Bao. She braces for impact, but instead feels a tingling sensation. So her master really is just helping her cultivate? In the courtyard, Chin Chang'an intensifies the flow. Ling Bao is shocked by the sheer magnitude of the energy flooding into her, which soon transforms into an overwhelming sense of comfort. Seeing no progress, a frustrated Chin Chang'an unleashes a violent output. Under the crushing pressure, Ling Bao screams in agony, her consciousness fading as the session turns into a life-or-death trial. A finger taps her forehead, sending a torrent of pink energy through her body. Ling Bao arches back, pupils dilating and tears streaming, letting out a broken cry under the ultimate impact. It hurts too much. Ling Bao screams, her body on the verge of exploding. Panic seizes Chin Chang'an. Sweating profusely, he realizes the power is too great. She could burst at any moment. At the brink of death, memories flash before her eyes. Her father's strict teachings, the burden of the Nine Swords sect. Ling Bao finds a surge of will amidst the destruction. I absolutely cannot die here. Having sworn to follow her master forever, how can she fall now? Ling Bao glares defiantly, stabilizing herself within the pink energy storm, while Chin Chang'an watches her transformation silently from the shadows. Suddenly, a devastating blue lightning bolt strikes. Chin Chang'an stands proud in the courtyard. Facing the heaven's wrath, his eyes fill with contempt. Do you think I'm dead? How dare you strike right under my nose? Just as the master and disciple embrace in relief, savoring their success, a deafening explosion shatters the peace. A terrifying red beam blasts down, accompanied by a mocking voice. Still making out? Go to hell. Meanwhile, beasts flee in panic. The three demon kings Hong Yi, Snake, and Bull watch the terrifying thunderstorm engulfing Feishian Mountain. Even with their power, they feel a chill of dread deep in their souls. In the eye of the storm, Chin Chang'an casually feeds the lightning to Ling Bao. The demon kings watch in disbelief as the clouds part, revealing a little girl actually absorbing the heavenly thunder. This is cheating. Unable to accept reality, the demon kings fly in with jealousy and greed. Meanwhile, amidst the golden thunderfire, Ling Bao sits quietly like a goddess, holding her artifact. Realizing she is a peerless genius rather than a treasure, the demon king's eyes burn with fervor. At the same time, Chin Chang'an hears the sweet sound of the system. Disciple breakthrough, massive domain value rewarded. A flawless physique. To the demon kings, Ling Bao is the ultimate treasure. Hong Yi can no longer hold back, rushing forward as a streak of red light. That's my disciple. You two get lost. Fighting over this soul prodigy, the three demon kings instantly turn on each other. The bull roars, the snake sneers, and Hong Yi reveals her massive nine-tailed fox form, shaking the heavens with their clashing demon power. As the chaotic battle stalemates, the bull suggests letting the girl choose. Back on the ground, Ling Bao slowly opens her eyes to see Chin Chang'an's concerned face, as if the noise of the outside world has nothing to do with them. Bao is overwhelmed by her master's generosity, but her smile freezes the moment she recognizes the ring. That familiar energy ripple, it's unmistakably the relic of their mortal enemy, Li Xiao. Chin Chang'an turns his back to hide his helplessness. These treasures are useless junk to him. Expanding his domain is the only way. Just then, Bao's provocative shout rings out from behind. Meanwhile, danger lurks in a dark cave. The bull demon king, Tuoba Yi, arrogantly displays 3 golden pellets, his suffocating demonic aura pressing down on the red-haired girl, blatantly forcing her into submission. Before Hong Yi can respond, Snake in Verse reveals the legendary immortal fruit of youth. This strikes a weakness. Hiding nearby, Bauer instantly crumbles, her eyes glazed over by the temptation of eternal youth. Not to be outdone, Hong Yi strikes back. With a seductive gaze, she promises the glory of the celestial demon ancient fox sect and immortality, trying to outbid the other 2 demon kings with power and status. Faced with the escalating offers from the demon kings, the response is brutal in its simplicity. Amidst flashing lightning, 3 shadows reject them in unison with a single note, freezing the air and turning the demon kings' faces pale with rage. I already have a master. Bauer crosses her arms, rejecting them with haughty pride. Furious, Hong Yi demands to know who, only to see a mortal boy with no spiritual power step forward and calmly claim the title. Hong Yi laughs in fury, her killing intent skyrocketing as she vows to crush this arrogant mortal. Bauer stands firmly in front of him with unconditional trust, while Chen Chang'an simply offers a cold smile, ready for battle. Hong Yi's destructive strike descends with thunderous force, only to crash into blinding golden lightning. Chen Chang'an stops hiding, his earth-shattering aura erupts instantly, causing the scornful demon king's pupils to dilate as they finally smell the scent of death. Elsewhere, under the night sky, Chen Chang'an toys with the wreckage in his hand, his gaze sharp as a blade. Since this old ox doesn't know his place either, he might as well clean up all 3 so-called demon kings together. No complex moves are needed. Chen Chang'an simply taps his finger, and a beam of light instantly pierces the void. It is absolute domination accompanied by a scream. The invincible demon body shatters like paper. 1 finger. Just 1 finger. Seeing the heavily armored Tuoba Yi critically wounded in an instant, Hong Yi and Snake in Verse are terrified out of their wits. Cold sweat soaking their backs, they've truly kicked an iron plate this time. Their previous arrogance vanishes instantly. The 2 demon kings drop to their knees with a thud, not daring to lift their heads. To survive, Snake in Verse tremblingly offers the precious immortal fruit of youth, begging this terrifying senior for mercy. Chen Chang'an toys with the immortal fruit, a glint of calculation in his eyes. Since it's offered, there's no reason to refuse. He asks a casual question, but every word strikes like a hammer against the demon king's taut nerves. Learning the fruit originates from a forbidden zone in the upper world, Chen Chang'an sinks into thought. Then, he does the unthinkable, tossing this rare treasure casually to his gluttonous disciple with a simple instruction: save the core for me. Moved to tears, Bauer swallows the fruit, and brilliant golden light instantly cleanses her body. As the light fades, she obediently hands back the core, completing this tacit exchange between master and disciple. Staring at the core, Chen Chang'an gets the idea to plant it. The demon kings exchange glances, secretly mocking him. This is a divine tree from the upper world. How could it possibly grow in the mortal realm? The very idea is absurd. A loud bang slaps everyone in the face. The immortal tree shoots up from the ground, instantly towering overhead. Faced with this absolute miracle, the demon kings are reduced to clowns, trembling under Chen Chang'an's mocking gaze. Submit or die. Chen Chang'an's ultimatum is cold and direct. Although Tuoba Yi curses wildly in his heart, his body honestly performs a full prostration. His damned survival instinct forces him to lower his proud head. However, after the stick comes the carrot. As golden light envelopes the 3, they are horrified to discover their stagnant cultivation levels skyrocketing. The humiliation instantly turns into ecstasy. In this moment, they truly understand the meaning of invincible. A violent thunderstorm tears through the night sky. Chen Chang'an roars at the heavens, challenging the celestial wrath, while Hong Yi screams in agony under the strangling purple lightning. Crisis is imminent. Just as despair sets in, Chen Chang'an realizes the destructive lightning is actually tempering his body, his injuries healing rapidly within the golden glow. The storm clears as Hong Yi descends, bathed in golden light. Chen Chang'an thanks Bauer casually, acting as if the heaven-shaking tribulation was nothing but a minor interlude. The aptitude test begins, and the pitch-black stone reveals a terrifying 8th grade potential. While his disciples cheer, Chin Chanan calmly tells Bauer that the 8th grade is merely the starting point. It's Bauer's turn. She takes the talent stone with trembling hands, sweating slightly, terrified of failing her master's expectation that we will do our best. Instantly, blinding gold fills their vision 9th grade. But the light vanishes eerily, leaving the stone transparent again, causing everyone's heart to skip a beat. Thinking her talent is gone, Bauer bursts into tears. But Snake and Eye stares in horror, realizing the truth. It didn't disappear, it transcended the mortal realm immortal. Just a simple immortal, why the nervousness? Chin Chanan's nonchalant remark sends shockwaves through Bauer's heart. Hands clasped behind his back, Chin Chanan bluffs. Above the 9th grade lies the heavens. The disciples' eyes shine with fanaticism, seeing the hope of ascension by following their master. Seeing his disciples pledge undying loyalty, Chin Chanan gloats over his successful manipulation. Suddenly, Snake and Eye suggests hunting a dragon turkey, leaving both master and student completely baffled. Hearing it's a supreme delicacy, the gluttonous Bauer immediately volunteers. Though reluctant, Chin Chanan silently approves the mission for the sake of his disciples' growth. Under the setting sun, Bauer flies home, thinking only of bringing food to her master, unaware that greedy hunters in the shadows have already marked her as prey. A conspiracy looms. Boom! Boulders crash down wrapped in purple malice. Chiu Chientu, who once begged for mercy on his knees, now blocks her path with a hideous grin. Enemies meet with blazing hatred, but the pressure of 3 nascent soul experts chills Bauer to the bone. In desperation, she grips her sword. She must carve a bloody path out. I'll make you into a ghost slave. Chiu Chientu's face twists as he laughs maniacally amidst the purple mist, envisioning the girl's torture. Just as death approaches, brilliant golden light erupts from Bauer. This terrifying power, far beyond the Foundation establishment stage, leaves the arrogant Chiu Chientu dumbfounded. Kill her! Realizing this girl cannot be allowed to live, the villains unleash their murderous intent. Eyes wide with rage, Bauer fights for her life on this overwhelming battlefield. Sword light and demonic energy collide violently in the air. Facing a full-force strike from a peak gold core expert, Bauer's tiny figure looks precarious in the gale. She blocked it. Though her spiritual energy is drained, Bauer rides the explosion's shockwave to flee. Behind her, the enemy's exasperated roar echoes. Don't you dare run! Meanwhile, her oblivious juniors are haggling over a chicken at the market, completely unaware of the life and death ordeal their senior sister is facing. The joyful mahjong game dissolves into bickering, but Chin Chanan's winning smile fades. He looks at the darkening sky, a sudden unease gripping his heart. Hong Yi forces a smile to comfort him, internally terrified by Bauer's fading aura. Chin Chanan feigns confidence, but the air grows heavy with unvoiced tension. Silence spreads through the dojo as disciples exchange worried glances. The master's unresponsiveness only fuels the growing fear of the unknown catastrophe. Meanwhile, miles away, Ling Bauer sprints desperately, lungs burning. Seeing the sanctuary's border ahead, she grinds her teeth, clinging to a sliver of hope. Hope shatters in an instant. Just as she screams for her master, a massive purple palm descends from the sky, crushing her only chance of survival. Blood sprays as Bauer hits the ground hard. Hovering above, the Ghost Bones hunter looks down with cold eyes, declaring the end of their cruel game. As the enemy moves to enslave her soul, a blinding golden sphere suddenly rises from the ruins, a twist of fate in the moment of despair. The immortal treasure! Greed instantly overrides bloodlust. A silver-haired cultivator dives through the clouds, chasing the fleeing golden light with manic determination. The light fades to reveal a majestic golden greatsword. Grasping the hilt, the cultivator trembles, awestruck by the overwhelming power pulsing through the blade. But the slaughter continues. The masked man grins maliciously, condensing lethal fire in his palm as he strikes down at the dying girl. Time seems to freeze as the shadow of death descends, leaving only her unspoken plea for help drifting in the wind. End of Chapter 9. The tables turn instantly. The once arrogant enemies now tremble in fear, facing the living nightmare of Chinchon's wrath. They finally understand true despair. As the dust settles, the disciples rush to the grievously wounded Bao. Seeing her life fading, their playful rivalry vanishes, replaced by sheer panic. Hearing the news, Chinchon's laziness turns into icy killing intent. Gripping the jade slip, he commands with absolute resolve, "Bring her back at any cost!" In the cold rain, Hongyi pours her own demonic energy into Bauer. Cradling the fragile girl, her eyes are filled with pain and fierce determination. "I will not let you die." The enemy gloats, using a soul-devouring spell as leverage. But the snake demon sees through it. "Kill the caster! Break the spell!" Beside her, the bull demon roars for blood. Suddenly, thunder rips the sky as the ghost bone sects 3 supreme elders descend. An overwhelming pressure crushes down, pushing despair to its peak. "I don't care who you are!" the blue-haired youth roars in defiance. Erupting with volcanic power, he charges fearlessly at the invincible foe. With a deafening roar, a beam of destructive purple light pierces the heavens. Fueled by vengeance, the attack shatters the rain and the enemy's defenses alike. A blinding beam of energy strikes mercilessly. Red grits her teeth against the searing pain, but the sheer brute force slams into her, sending her reeling backward. Giving her no chance to breathe, a massive green serpent tears through the sky, engulfing Red in a devastating whirlwind. A cold sneer echoes in the wind as the enemy's greedy gaze shifts past the fallen protector to target Ling Bao. "If you want to touch them, you'll have to go through me." Facing the lethal strike, the silver-haired girl stands her ground without hesitation, using her broken body as a shield even as blood blurs her vision. From the rooftop, Chinchon witnesses the chaos, his heart sinking. This cursed, invincible domain is a cage, forcing him to watch helplessly as his disciple suffers, while regret gnaws at his soul like a viper. His outstretched hand grasps nothing but empty air, and helplessness instantly ignites into a wildfire of rage. Screw hiding. What good is this system if he lives like a coward, unable to protect even those closest to him? "I refuse to be useless." Chinchon snaps his head up, hesitation replaced by absolute resolve. In that instant, a shackle breaks, and wild energy erupts from him, expanding outward to claim the entire 100,000 mountains as his domain. A terrifying shockwave sweeps across the battlefield. Even golden core cultivators are reduced to ants before this earth-shattering power, blown away instantly without even a chance to stand their ground. Amidst the chaos, a startled cry cuts through the air. The coveted immortal sword is knocked loose by the blast, plummeting like a flaming meteor, instantly becoming the new focal point of the battlefield. "The immortal sword!" Greed flares in the eyes of Chiu Chintu, the Ghostbone sect leader hiding nearby. Heaven is helping him. If he can steal this supreme weapon amidst the chaos, his sect's future is secured. Chiu Chintu is lost in his own delusional heroism about saving his sect, unaware that his every move is being watched. From the roof, Chinchon stares coldly at this clown, a hint of mockery in his eyes. Suddenly, Chinchon's pupils constrict, his heart skipping a beat. Amidst the dusty ruins, a dangerous presence is closing in on the unconscious Ling Bao, the enemy's final, desperate counterattack. "Ha ha, these fools are too busy fighting." Chiu Chintu chuckles sinisterly, gliding like a ghost toward Ling Bao. He'll use this girl as a hostage and force those demon kings into submission. Winds rise and clouds gather as forces collide. At this crossroads of destiny, the true legend of invincibility is only just beginning to unfold. What? Before Chiu Chintu can even touch Ling Bao, a white figure descends from the heavens like divine punishment. The speed is beyond perception, sending a tremor of pure terror through his soul. Under everyone's stunned gaze, the raging immortal sword tamely flies into Chinchon's hand, instantly transforming into a golden bracer. He examines the divine artifact with a puzzled look, as if the earth-shattering commotion was nothing but a minor inconvenience. "He can change the immortal sword's form at will?" This monster is invincible. Fear instantly shatters his greed, and Chiochintu turns to flee. But a voice from behind chills him to the bone. After touching my people, do you really think you can leave? With zero mercy, the golden judgment crashes down. Chiochintu screams in despair. Spare me! Please, spare my life! But the only answer he receives is the crushing roar of obliteration. The dust settles, and the chaotic battlefield falls into a deathly silence. Amidst the misty rain, Chinchongan gently scoops up the battered Lingbao. The decisive warrior is gone, replaced by a master with eyes full of heartache. With his body destroyed, Chiochintu's remaining soul fragment drifts aimlessly, clinging to existence. Just as he thinks all is lost, a scent that makes his very soul tremble fills his senses, the legendary scent of the eternal body. Impossible! Someone with that physique cannot cultivate. Chiochintu stares fixatedly at Chinchongan, his despairing soul suddenly erupting with mad greed. Whether it's true or not, sticking to this man might be his only chance to turn the tables. Beneath a massive ancient tree, Chinchongan holds the frail girl tightly. Seeing the shocking wound on Bao's chest, his heart wrenches, and the air around them seems to freeze. Rage burns in his eyes as he infuses precious immortal energy into Bao. Watching his disciple's broken body stabilize, he silently vows, whoever hurt her must die. Facing his disciple's weak call upon waking, Chinchongan turns away filled with guilt. Leaving behind a heavy, "Master was late." He vanishes into a blur, rushing towards the battlefield with fury. Recalling that moment, devastating energy descended from the sky. To protect everyone, that proud figure fell amidst flames and despair, leaving only a tragic roar. The battlefield is in shambles, dragon fire raging. To lower the enemy's guard, Chinchongan feigns weakness, groaning in pain amidst the ruins like wounded prey. Smoke clears, and the purple-haired cultivator looks down with contempt at the mortal, her words full of insults, unaware she is already being stared down by the grim reaper. In a flash, the mortal erupts instantly, moving at a blur. A heavy punch sends the cultivator flying before she can even scream, her eyes filled with disbelief. To make the act convincing, Chinchongan falls into the clouds after the counterattack, feigning terror on his face and stammering as if terrified by their power. Rain pours down as the purple-haired cultivator stomps viciously. Looking at the helpless prey beneath her feet, she vents her rage, completely immersed in the illusion of victory. Chains bind him, enemies surround him. Facing their mockery and scorn, the trapped Chinchongan shows no fear. Instead, a trace of imperceptible amusement flashes in his eyes. As the enemy summons the phantom of the demon emperor, Chinchongan plays along with a look of despair, while the murderous intent quietly builds to its peak upon hearing his disciples cry for help. Clouds churn, and the remnant soul of the Ghost Bone sect, originally crying for help, suddenly smells something. Despair turns to greed as he stares below it's the scent of the eternal body. Eternal body! These words act like a curse, instantly driving all the demonic cultivators present into a frenzy. Greed overpowers reason as they scramble for a piece of the prize. The fish have taken the bait. Chinchongan tears off his disguise, blue light erupting around him, a smile crazier than a devil's on his face. Come, this is the hell you've been dreaming of. Scanlation Group Recruitment Page, narration skipped. Golden immortal aura erupts instantly. Chinchongan stands like a lighthouse in the dark, recklessly releasing a tantalizing scent as he spreads his arms in mockery. Come and eat me! The exotic fragrance permeating the air intoxicates the demonic cultivators. They greedily inhale this fatal temptation, faces twisted in ecstasy, oblivious to their impending doom. A giant hand pinches the charging enemy like a bug. Chinchongan watches these ants mad for immortal meat, his smile growing colder. Want eternal life? I'll grant it! Greed sparks infighting. The demonic cultivators, unable to even join forces, clash violently in the air over the soul, prey, causing the scene to spiral out of control. Accompanying the roar of shattering bones, the pink-haired demonic cultivator laughs wildly, while blasting his opponent into the cliff. In this feast named Breed, violence is the only language. Purple energy crashes down like a meteor, crushing the enemy instantly. Hong Yi and the others watch in trembling awe. Is this the master's true power? Smoke still rising, Qin Chanin looks unimpressed. Killing a nascent soul expert yields so few points? Less than the trash from last time. What a loss. While the disciples are still dazed by the alluring scent, the surviving silver-haired cultivator rages in the sky, realizing she fell for a mortal's delicious trap. Seeing her companion crushed, the silver-haired woman's arrogance crumbles. Fear overrides reason, and she screams, turning to flee this death trap. Who said you could leave? Qin Chanin scoffs. Through the pouring rain, a blue phantom rises, instantly cutting off her escape and blasting her back. A playful smile tugs at Qin Chanin's lips. Relax, I'm giving you a gift. Before she can react, her cultivation level skyrockets uncontrollably, leaving her shocked yet ecstatic. It's not a gift, it's a calamity. As the terrifying thunder vortex crashes down, Qin Chanin stands, like a lightning god, calmly watching his prey struggle. Force-fed by the lightning tribulation, she actually breaks through repeatedly. Blushing on the brink of death, an absurd thought crosses her mind. Is he actually helping me? Watching from afar, Hong Yi is dumbstruck. This is no mercy. The woman's body begins to crack under the violent energy, her screams tearing through the air. I'm telling my dad! The woman screams a childish threat in despair before being completely swallowed by the endless lightning, forcibly ascended to god transformation. With a soft pop, the fireworks fade, and she is gone. Qin Chanin eyes the system points, coldly remarking, hard-earned blood money. No need to keep the stragglers. With a wave of Qin Chanin's hand, golden light flashes, and the begging enemy is instantly obliterated amid screams. Wanting to trigger another tribulation? Too bad the heavens didn't oblige. The unlucky fool is slapped into system points before he can even break through. While his disciples tremble at the miracle they just witnessed, Qin Chanin is already absorbed in the system. The bug might be fixed, but the domain upgrade is the real deal. Points are meant to be spent. Dropping 5,000 points, the invincible domain instantly expands, bringing the entire ruined courtyard under his absolute control. Little guy, stop hiding. Just when everyone thinks it's over, Qin Chanin stares into the void. In his domain, not even a ghost can escape his gaze. To survive, the remnant soul of the Ghost Bone sect leader turns into a crying chatterbox, spilling every secret about the Holy Sword and Ghost Bone sect like beans. Qin Chanin stretches the pink ghost like dough. Cut the crap. Can you turn into a chihuahua? The ghost looks baffled. What kind of mythical beast is that? Bored now, Qin Chanin tosses the unlucky ghost to his disciple. Watch him. He'll be a toy for Bauer when she wakes up. Hong Yi lies on the ground, awestruck by her master's depth. The night is gentle, the crisis averted. Qin Chanin has only one thought now. That scared chicken from earlier would make a perfect roast to comfort his disciple. Night falls, but peace is absent around the campfire. Dignity vanishes over a piece of roast meat. Amidst the noise, Qin Chanin glances at the map, a flicker of anxiety in his eyes. To level up fast, risks must be taken. A smirk plays on Qin Chanin's lips as he draws the ornate immortal sword, commanding it to release its most alluring or an irresistible bait. The trap is set. Qin Chanin waits with brimming confidence. But 1 hour passes, then 2. The disciples in the bushes exchange confused glances as an awkward silence fills the air. For hours of sitting destroys the wise master image completely. Qin Chanin snaps amidst the cobwebs, his desperate roar tearing through the night and startling the sleeping disciples awake. Morning grogginess hangs heavy on their faces. As the master fumes, the little disciple on his shoulder pipes up, seemingly spotting the blind spot in their plan. Because we are too strong, the bull demon explains while stretching. With 3 demon kings here, no lesser monster dares approach. Qin Chanin realizes his own disciples are the deterrent. If that's the case, then weaken them. With a wave of his hand, Qin Chang'an suppresses his disciples' cultivation down to the qi refining stage. Seeing them tremble, he smiles with satisfaction. Meanwhile, the personified immortal sword revels in chasing down fleeing prey. With a playful yet cruel gaze, he taps his finger, enjoying this game of cat and mouse. Go big or go home. A pillar of golden light erupts, piercing the heavens. It is an invitation to the entire world, a naked display of greed and temptation. Darkness ignites. Demons lurking in the abyss go into a frenzy. It's the aura of the immortal sword. Greed conquers fear as countless crimson eyes fixate on the beacon. The sky turns blood red as demon kings swarm out. With hideous expressions, they vow to seize this heaven-defying opportunity before the hypocritical human cultivators can touch it. Demons blot out the sun, a replay of the apocalypse. But this time, the roles are reversed. Qin Chang'an stands amidst the ruins, lightning exploding in his palm. Today, it is you who turn to ashes. The light fades, leaving only scorched earth and trembling survivors. Qin Chang'an turns his back on them. In the deathly silence, only the cold chime of the system echoes. Still not enough. Looking at the mere 3,400 domain points, Qin Chang'an frowns. Endless fodder won't satisfy the system. He needs bigger prey-nascent soul monsters. If subtlety fails, let the storm rage. He summons his disciples, eyes gleaming with calculation. Spread the news. Lure the old monsters here. I'm planning something big. A new chapter begins as Qin Chang'an turns his gaze to the wider world. He asks, which of you knows Yinzhou best? A grander scheme is brewing. Snake reverse volunteers, and Qin Chang'an swiftly assigns tasks. Some to spread rumors, others to gather intel. Every order is decisive. A net is being cast over Yunzhou. If in danger, survival comes first. Golden pills fly out, a reward and a promise. The disciples kneel to swear loyalty, departing with resolve and their master's high hopes. 1 week later, at the foot of Feixian Mountain, Sect Master Ling Qinshan looks grave. He doesn't believe the treasure rumors, but he must find his missing daughter, no matter the danger. The father dives desperately from the sky, heart burning to save his daughter from hell. Meanwhile, Bauer, the source of his anxiety, is lounging on a chair, blissfully enjoying her captivity. Qin Chang'an makes a grand entrance, only to freeze instantly. Two familiar faces stare back. The air fills with awkward silence. Just as Chang'an tries to hide his embarrassment, Ling Bauer bursts in with food. Her cry of "Dad" shatters the silence, sending a jolt through Chang'an. A storm of paternal fury descends. Ling Qinshan glares at this so-called master with utter disdain, determined to drag his daughter away from this hellhole. Ling Qinshan turns a deaf ear to his daughter's warnings. Even as Bauer screams that her master can crush nascent souls, he treats it as a joke. Facing the provocation, Chang'an smirks. The moment Qinshan strikes, an invisible force erupts, blasting the sect master into the sky like a fly. Before Qinshan can recover from the shock, terrifying demonic energy engulfs the peak. Reddy and the bull demon descend, their suffocating pressure freezing him in fear. Legendary demon kings. In an instant, Qinshan's arrogance crumbles into terror. He stammers, realizing his insignificance before such absolute power. Then, a sight that shatters reality occurs. These arrogant demon kings bow respectfully to the mortal. Qinshan's worldview collapses instantly. Chang'an's gentle word family strikes Qinshan like thunder. He trembles, unable to believe he dared offend a being who must be a god. Though the misunderstanding clears, Ling Bauer clings to the ground. With tears in her eyes, she stubbornly declares to her father, she will never leave her master. Meanwhile, the true crisis surfaces. The Grand Elder grimly reveals the impending descent of upper realm immortals, and the Ghostbone sect, weighing down the air. The elders discuss surrendering the treasure to survive, infuriating the purple pet in Chang'an's hand. It bares its fangs, condemning their cowardice. To clear his name, the soul of Qiu Qian swallows his pride. He weeps, swearing absolute loyalty to Chang'an, terrified of being crushed like a bug. Watching the desperate soul in his hand, Chanan falls into thought. The truth behind this farce clears, and the word family gains heavier meaning. Facing unknown enemies, the panicked elders can only pin their last hope on this unfathomable young man. The atmosphere is oppressive to the breaking point. Chanan stands in the snow, a playful smirk curling his lips. With a chuckle, the ready hunter waiting in the rain hears the signal. The prey has arrived. Clouds churn as the 10 demon kings descend like a nightmare. Greedy eyes lock onto the immortal land, killing intent boiling in the rain. The elders collapse in terror, but Ling Bao fearlessly draws the immortal treasure gifted by her master. Her innocent bravery shines bright against the mighty foes. Hearing the demon king's vile words about his disciple, Chanan slowly turns his back. He raises a single finger, a silent mockery, and a death sentence. At this life-or-death moment, Chanan strikes a bizarre calisthenics pose. Amidst blinding golden light, is it the calm of the strong, or a prank on the weak? Chanan's casual gesture triggers a storm of conflicting emotions. While some scream in terror, others blush deeply, utterly captivated by his deadly charm. As purple light explodes, demons turn to ash amidst wails. The system chime rings like music, harvesting massive domain values and heralding the exciting 3.0 version upgrade. This scene shatters the onlooker's reality. Instantly killing demon kings? That's the power of law possessed only by true immortals. Fear spreads. How can the mortal realm tolerate such an existence? Ling Qishan is dumbfounded, suspecting he's met a legendary immortal slayer. Bathed in golden light, Chanan looks profound, but internally he's screaming. So cool, too bad it doesn't farm points. Suddenly, a strange fragrance permeates the air. Everyone's eyes turn greedy and feverish, as if smelling a peerless delicacy. Chanan pales. Damn it, the system upgrade broke the seal on his eternal body. Just a wisp of the leaking aura sends surrounding beings into confusion and fainting spells. Watching everyone collapse, Chanan sweats profusely. This isn't an upgrade, it's turning on forbidden fruit mode. Even activating the newly obtained true solution, Chanan only turns himself into a glowing light bulb. Although it masks his aura, the cheap visual effects make him want to flip off the system. Just then, the system thoughtfully offers a salted fish gift package. Like clutching a life straw, Chanan rubs his hands excitedly to open it, receiving not only new functions, but also a mysterious experience card. Can only be used on items? Chanan's dream of instant ascension shatters. Watching the experience card crumble, he falls from the clouds to rock bottom. A disposable item with target restrictions? What a scam! The system reveals its trap. For 5,000 domain values, the function becomes permanent. Chanan's face changes instantly. Since he has the points, he pays without hesitation. Spend it. This is a must-buy. With the deduction of points, the invincible domain officially evolves into an immortal land. Amidst the celestial mist, while Chanan aches for his points, his disciple worships this miraculous scene with eyes full of adoration. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, legends of the immortal quietly spread with the wind and rain, brewing a storm targeted at Chanan. The 9 Sword Sect members bathe in the afterglow of the immortal land, feeling the land's astonishing transformation. The rain washes the ancient buildings, but cannot wash away the worry in Ling Qingshan's heart. Even in this blessed land, Ling Qingshan cannot find peace. Rumors of the immortal slayer are intensifying outside. If implicated, the 9 Sword Sect could be doomed. For Bauer, I must make a decision. A flash of determination crosses Ling Qingshan's eyes. Though fearing the unknown power, to avoid bringing trouble to his daughter's master, he decides to face the pressure alone. In the dark corners, the remnants of the Ghost Bones sect haven't given up. Like vipers hiding in the snow, they are plotting a conspiracy against Chanan, using the chaos of the immortal slayer. Before leaving, Ling Qingshan boasts that any enemy must pass through him first. Chanan is confused but calculates internally. Trouble? More like free experience points delivery. The true reluctance is left for Bao. Fighting back the bitterness, Ling Qishan urges his daughter to listen to her master. Watching her father leave, tears fill the girl's eyes, full of attachment. Having seen off the guests, Qin Chang'an turns around, only for his little disciple to suddenly mutate. With a strange sound and pink smoke, the small plant in his arms transforms into a fairy? Hong Yi senses something amiss. Staring intently at Xiaoban in Qin Chang'an's hand, she gravely reveals a shocking truth. This little one has inadvertently stepped onto the perilous path of the demon. Recalling her own arduous past, Hong Yi smiles bitterly. Xiaoban's talent is monstrous pure and without mutation. Seizing the moment, she urges Chang'an to teach the little one demonic arts. Schemes form in Hong Yi's mind. With Xiaoban as a link, the fox clan can cling to this powerhouse. She immediately switches to a pitiful facade, trying to emotionally manipulate her master. The scene shifts to a clear blue sky. Chang'an's clone waves goodbye, setting off alone. Behind him, the bull-headed Taobai eyes him tearfully, letting out a reluctant moo. The affection turns sour as Taobai puckers up for service, scaring Chang'an backwards. Watching this eye-burning scene, Ling Bao screams in sheer horror. Days later, danger strikes in the deep jungle. A gaping maw lunges forth. Chang'an's clone doesn't even resist, dissolving into particles of light with a smile inside the giant snake's belly. Back in reality, Chang'an pounds the floor in rage. This is the second death. Fury instantly turns to appetite as he springs up, gritting his teeth and declaring, "Snake soup is on the menu tonight." Calming down, he pulls up the system interface. It was merely a low-cost clone for exploration. Death only brings back memories, like an overly realistic VR experience, leaving the real body unharmed. Looking at his remaining domain points, Chang'an laments his poverty. Just as he worries about resources, a sudden knock on the door breaks the silence. New trouble has arrived. Scanlation Group Recruitment Page, narration skipped. The door opens gently, revealing a stunning silver-haired catgirl. In that instant, both Chang'an and Ling Bao widen their eyes, the master and disciple focusing on the exact same thing. Those legs are incredibly white. Chang'an is enjoying the charming atmosphere when she introduces herself as Bai Yu, said by Hong Yi. Hearing that Hong Yi is imprisoned, the smile freezes on his face, and the air pressure instantly drops. Meanwhile, the Nine-Sword sect lies in ruins. Amidst the corpses, the old sect master Ling Qishan kneels in despair, tears streaming down. It's all over. Against such terrifying power, resistance was futile. High in the firmament, 12 godlike figures look down with indifference. The 12 immortal generals have arrived from the upper realm, bringing destruction solely to find the legendary immortal sword. Losing patience with the tight-lipped elder, an immortal general strikes. Golden light forcibly penetrates his skull. The brutal soul surge tears a heart-wrenching scream from Ling Qishan as his memories are violently ransacked. The clue is found. Memories point to a legendary immortal slayer. With ferocious grins, the generals transform into streaks of light, tearing through the sky and rushing toward Qin Chang'an's location. Far away in the ancient Fox sect, the matriarch Ning Su also senses the terrifying immortal might. But her focus lies on the seemingly ordinary Banlangen they have brought back. Ning Su's eyes flash with greedy red light. Though currently cultivating nothing, this Banlangen possesses heaven-defying potential. Once grown, she will be the sect's ultimate trump card for domination. Inside the dank, dark dungeon, Hong Yi is shackled by heavy chains, looking haggard. As a familiar, imposing figure approaches, she struggles to lift her head. It is her grandmother, come to interrogate her. Facing insults against her master, Hong Yi's patience snaps. Loyalty ignites into rage as she screams, unleashing a shockwave that blasts the mockers into silence. Dust settles, shifting to a cold, rainy backdrop. Tears mix with rain as she desperately pleads with the elder, swearing that following this master brings unprecedented power and immortality. The white-haired saintess stares coldly, piercing the fantasy. Is he stronger than an immortal? Despite her chains, the captive girl glares back, eyes burning with absolute faith in her master. Panic surges as the girl struggles against her chains. Meanwhile, the sky tiers open with purple clouds. The white-haired saintess looks up in horror the immortals have arrived. The visitor from above arrives with a mocking sneer, treating them like insects. This contempt ignites the blue-haired man's fury. Eyes red with rage, he vows to fight the heavens for his people. Witnessing his selflessness, the girl is shaken. Amidst the ruins, wrapped in golden light, he issues a domineering decree. Even immortals will fall if they dare harm his disciples. The cold rainy night shifts to a warm glow. Facing her worry, he shows no fear, only an expectant smile. Since the enemy has arrived, they are merely prey awaiting the hunter. Qin Chang'an glances at the surging stats on his system panel, a cunning smile playing on his lips. Domain expanded, invincibilities secured, the fat sheep have finally delivered themselves. Blood stains the body, tears blur the eyes. In this crumbling world, an epic battle for life and dignity is about to begin amidst the thunder. Who will survive? In the stormy wilderness, hideous demons laugh wildly, a nightmare from hell. Tiny humans tremble under the terrifying pressure, their eyes filled with utter despair. Not just one, but 12. The white-haired fox girl stands proud, predicting doom, while her companions lose their minds in terror. A millennium-rare battle of immortals is about to shatter this world. Watching the falling stars, Baiyu secretly rejoices. Had she not chosen the right side, the ancient fox clan would have been obliterated along with those streaks of doom. Everyone holds their breath, watching the historic duel. A massive shadow looms over the peak, dwarfing the mortal below. Can Qin Chang'an withstand this suffocating pressure? The dormant lower realm suddenly erupts with vitality. Sensing the thick immortal aura and the legendary divine fruit tree, the onlookers stare with eyes wide with greed. The greedy immortal laughs wildly, claiming this fairy land, unaware he's stepped into a trap. From the shadows, Qin Chang'an excitedly counts heads. 1, 2, 12 XP packs, finally all here. Facing an aura capable of destroying the world, the disciples tremble in terror, collapsing to the ground. Only the figure in white remains calm, unmoved as if the apocalypse were a gentle breeze. With Master here, what do you fear? Soft words are followed by a violent eruption of energy. Amidst the roar, all terror is forcibly suppressed by his invincible power. Facing the mockery of the gods, Qin Chang'an's eyes cut like daggers. With a scornful smirk, he issues the ultimate provocation to the immortals above. Want the sword? Come get it. No more words. The purple-haired figure dives like a meteor. Golden fists tear through the air, blasting the resisting enemy away with a dull, bone-crushing thud. The battle erupts. The golden-haired fairy screams in shock as the pink-haired girl wields the Emperor's sword. Light swallows everything immortals roar against gods, marking the start of an immortal legend. The immortal general roars, thunder exploding around him. His terrifying pressure manifests as a colossal skull, pinning Hongi to the ground, absolute suppression from a higher being. Just as despair sets in, a sharp sword beam slices through the darkness. Qin Chang'an strikes back, blocking the deadly skull, leaving Bauer collapsing in disbelief behind him. Though the attack is blocked, the silver-haired spirit struggles in agony, paralyzed. The immortal general laughs wildly, his contempt sharp as a blade. Old ghost, have you become so weak you can't even crush an ant from the lower realm? The general scoffingly claims he used only a fraction of his power, yet his eyes betray a hint of caution. Meanwhile, naive Bauer laughs at the sky, boasting that their numbers will easily crush these descended immortals. Behind the smile lies dripping blood. That day, the Nine-Sword sect was reduced to ruins. Her father slaughtered, Bauer wept heart-wrenchingly in her master's arms, her home nothing but rubble and a glaring enemy flag. Grief transforms into monstrous rage. Qin Chang'an gently wipes away his disciples' tears, then turns to grasp the silent sword. The moment his fingers touch the hilt, killing intent erupts into the sky. Today, I shall slaughter immortals to avenge you. Qin Chang'an roars, his sword crackling with thunder. Yet above the clouds, the generals burst into laughter, looking down with mockery, as if hearing the world's most ridiculous joke. The purple-haired general wastes no more words. her eyes glowing gold as she delivers a cold verdict. Retrieve the immortal sword, and as for the human, kill him. At her command, the black-armored army dives down like streaks of light. Yet a minute passes, and the expected slaughter does not arrive. The courtyard is dead silent. The immortal sword, which should have obeyed, remains motionless. Cold sweat beads on the villain's forehead as panic sets in. Is the distance too great? The villain frantically rationalizes, ordering troops to close in. On the ground, Bauer, ready to strike, gathers red light at her fingertips, watching like a predator waiting for prey to trigger the trap. Sword, come to me! The villain hysterically activates the spell, but the blade remains frozen. Fear finally swallows reason. Could this supreme treasure of the upper realm be completely controlled by this mortal? Chinchonin grips the treasure, his eyes mocking. You want it? Come and take it! The purple-haired general is about to lash out, but is tightly restrained by her companion, who senses a strange, ominous anomaly. If she can't take it, she'll destroy it. The general invokes the heavenly thunder, turning the sky into shackles of judgment. This is the will of the heavens. No mortal can possibly survive this strike. Facing the descending judgment of destruction, Chinchonin slowly raises his head. End of chapter. Stay tuned for the next battle update.